this company. No, Tops. They're doing baseball cards that feature comedians, right? So Tops asked me to do a comedian card. So it's me in action. It's me on stage. Could you please let me have my drink? So it's me on stage doing stand-up from like 10 years ago. They found it on the internet, and they paid me some money, and they're paying me to sign them too, right? So Dan Filato is helping me out. He's like making sure I get all these signed and everything.
You're gonna sign them by hand?
I'm signing them by hand.
No Artie Lange auto pen?
I'm signing like 250 of them by hand. And Dan, who's helped me out with this, used to live with Mark Grace when Grace was on the Cubs for 10 years in Chicago. And
never heard that story.
Mark Grace was a bit of a Lothario. Yeah, right, exactly. So every once in a while, Dan will throw out a gem. Tell me if you'd be disappointed as a kid finding out this is what happened to your baseball card of Mark Grace before you got it. He said Grace would never sign the cards. They would send it to him, and he had to sign a bunch of them, and he would never sign the cards. So finally, Dan would lay them out on his bed so he couldn't miss them. And Grace would not only not do it, he would bang chicks on top of the card. He would walk in, they'd be all over the place. They'd be like a stripper with like a pump in her hand, like leaving with a teddy or something. And he would bang chicks on top of the card. So then you would have to get, what would you have to do to gather them back up? Yes. And then after Mark Grace banged the chicks,
and a lot of the people wanted it signed with a specific pen, and their pens would be all over the place. And I didn't know.
Do you think he kind of like was into that, like corny, kind of like?
I have no clue, but I did know the vanity of it. Like I'm doing it on my own.
Yeah, honey.
96. One time,
put that under stuff Harmon Killebrew never did. But
one time, Brian McRae came over and he wanted a jersey of Mark's for a charity of his, and I go, just go up to his room and grab one. So he went up to the room and he came down completely flushed. I go, what's wrong? He goes, Mark doesn't really have sex on top of his baseball cards, does he?
Dan, now, answer honestly, you never had sex with him on top of the card.
No.
You never did. No, but honestly, would you as a 12-year-old be disappointed if you found out that Mark Grace had sex on the card that you had just gotten above?
Yeah.
When you at 12, you go, oh, come on. I mean, when you're 22, it's kind of cool.
At 12, you're a little grossed out.
Yeah,
man. What about you?
No, I remember when I found out,
that's like, you think like, it just ruins the entire illusion. I think he's cool as hell, but he's banging chicks on top of his top.
No, as a kid, it's disgusting. I remember as a kid thinking, I saw Kevin Dubrow from Quiet Riot raise his hand, and I thought it was gross that he had armpit hair. And I started thinking about that, and it made me not like Quiet Riot.
Wait, it was gross that a man had armpit hair?